Palestinians, if you're in an environment where you're growing up and your movements are limited and you're constantly seeing people parading around with guns.
That's BS. That's BS. When America was in South Korea, you did not see any terror attacks committed by South Koreans in America. It's BS. BS claim. Why don't you see Jews going back to Germany and attacking and doing terrorist attacks against Germans? Why don't you see families of October 7th victims going inside Gaza and killing the people that did that? Why don't you see that? I said the majority of the people that died are Hamas. That's what I said. The majority doesn't mean all of them.
50,000 of them are Hamas?
Even if it's half of them, the majority of the people targeted are Hamas, and that doesn't show genocidal intent. That is my claim. Now again, hold on, just a second. Give me just a second. Can you name a single war where civilians don't die? One.
So do you think that war?
That's not answering my. That's not an answering.
I don't think that war is right. I don't think that.
Beautiful. Why don't I see people protesting for Iraq, for what happened in Afghanistan, for what's happening in Sudan, in Yemen, in Syria?
In 2001 and 2002, people were protesting what was going on in Iraq.
Really?
People are still protesting wars. People are protesting what's going on.
At the same extent that you're seeing what's happening right now?
Definitely not.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Why is that?
Well, I think that a main reason is that we as Americans, it's being sold to us that we should support this. And I think that's why...
Support what, Israel?
Yeah, support Israel. I think that we as Americans, like, we're being told by people in our government and also by the media, it's very much pro-Israel, and that this is something...
You think that the media is pro-Israel?
Not to mention, our taxpayer dollars are literally funding this.
Your tax...
I think that, and also... I will say that our taxpayer dollars go towards a lot of other really fucked up shit.
Same.
And
Say.
you know, if you own an iPhone, that also is perpetrating a genocide in the Congo and in Sudan. So I do understand that there are certain things that, like, you know, it seems like people care about this issue so much more, but I do think that it's because there's so much attention around it in the media right now.
I just find it completely disingenuous when people completely choose to ignore what's happening in Yemen as we speak. 500,000 people starved to death.
Then
I don't see any.
Here, instead of
I'm
defending the state of Israel,
I'm Israeli. I'm Israeli.
About...
I care about the Jewish people. I care about the people who live in Israel.
So then you're saying that okay.
So I'm saying that the American.
So you're picking and choosing a cause to support.
Am I picking and choosing if I'm Israeli who sees my people abroad at risk and wanting to advocate for them? That's picking and choosing.
There's anything wrong, but you just said that you don't understand. You see it as disingenuous that people are.
I see that people choose to speak only about Palestine, yet they don't choose to speak about Syria, don't choose to speak about Sudan, don't choose to speak about Congo. The atrocities happening there, are far greater than what's happening in Gaza. Why should I? I'm Israeli. I'm protecting the Israeli people.
You should only care about what goes on in Israel.
I should care about the well-being of my people, just like Yemenis should care about their people. And the fact that
I care about
Palestinians, yet you don't care about the Yemenis. Why is that?
I care about anyone who's impacted by conflict, by war. I care about the people who are being attacked in Sudan and the people in Congo. Obviously, I care about that.
Got you. I don't see the same volume of protests for these people, and I think it should happen. I think it's completely selective outrage. I think it's disgusting.
So just because it's selective outrage doesn't mean that people shouldn't be outraged.
It means that people are not neutral about Israel. That's what it means.
I don't think people should be neutral.
Why?
Because
how are we different than any other country? People are losing their lives in every country.
Oh, it's okay for us to do it because we're not different than any other
It's okay for us to do it because they started a genocidal war against us, and now they're losing and now they're crying about it.
This is where we disagree.
Of course.
It's not a matter of, Palestinians started a genocidal war against...
They did.
Against Jewish
every single time they did. 1948, 1967.
I don't think that's true.
Of course they did. Also read about the Intifadas. I think it's going to highly enlighten you. And also, please try to visit Israel and see. It's fine. You don't have to. I'm just saying. Try to visit Israel and see how Arabs are treated there. Because if we truly have a problem with the Palestinians of 1948, then why don't we kill them?
We can get into how Arabs are treated.
What time is it, by the way?
Because why are you arguing that Arabs are treated fairly in Israel?
100%.
Are Palestinians treated fairly in Israel?
Palestinians are not Israeli. They should be treated by their own government.
Treated fairly if you're Israeli?
Do you think Canadians are treated the same as Americans who are treated in America?
I mean...
By the American laws and values? No, because they're not American.
If a Canadian person is here, then they're pretty much treated the same.
So why do they have to go back to Canada after 6 months?
Because it's the legal process here.
Exactly. It's the legal process in Israel. Palestinians are ruled by the PA and Hamas in Gaza, and Israeli Arabs are ruled by Israeli government.
You think it's okay for the Israeli government to treat Palestinians as second-class citizens?
How are they treating them as second-class citizens?
By making them go through hundreds of checkpoints.
That's because of their actions of committing attacks. Israel is allowed to do with whatever they want with their borders.
Okay, but what about the arrests? Okay, so I'm having a hard time following, because you're sort of making the argument that there's not this unfair treatment, but then you're also acknowledging the unfair treatment.
What, that Israel is allowed to do whatever they want to do with their borders? America is allowed to do whatever they want to do with their borders. What do you mean?
What's going on right now in the United States is really messed up. I don't think that people should be allowed to go and snatch up Americans off the streets and haul them into trucks and transport them to God knows where. Do you agree? I don't exactly
know what you're talking about. What is that?
I'm talking about the ICE raids that are going on right now.
If people are not legal, they should be deported, yes.
Okay. This is where I go.
It's fine. Still, thank you for the conversation, though.
I do think after I did try to have a good conversation with you, but I do think that a lot of your ideas are based in bigotry, and I think that
is your choice to think that. It's fine.
It makes me sad that you, as a person who exists in this world, can't see the humanity of an entire group of people.
I can.
And that your hatred toward them is so strong.
I have no hatred towards them. I have no hatred towards them. I just think
them being bombed and children being arrested.
If you try
I don't think it's okay.
If you try to stab anybody as a child, you should be arrested and sent to juvenile. Does anybody here disagree?
If you throw somebody,
you agree? Of course you agree.
What if you throw a rock at somebody? If you throw a rock at a person who's holding a rifle and has a helmet on and has
First of all, why would you throw a rock at a person holding a rifle?
I just wouldn't throw a rock at him. If he's pointing the rifle at me, I might throw it at him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think that
But, like, that's not
person
smart.
do you think that child should be hauled away to a jail and not allowed to go through any sort of legal process?
But to be fair, I'm not a Zionist, but to be fair, why was he pointing the rifle at me?
I'm talking about...
Wait, if someone's throwing a rifle at me, I wouldn't throw a rock. That's stupid.
Yeah,
then he would
children
just
are
shoot me.
stupid. Like what? You're an adult.
Why is the child being taught to throw rocks at soldiers by the parents? I want to know that.
Well,
you don't see Jewish children. You don't see.
You don't.
Listen, of course you know, from the hatred of Jews instilled in Islam. It's the perspective of Islam that's against Jews.
And that's where I disagree with you.
You don't have to agree with me. It's fine. That's why we're in a free, democratic country.
Probably, or as we know, for a lot of Palestinians, if you're in an environment where you're growing up and your movements are limited and you're constantly seeing people parading around with guns.
That's BS. That's BS. When America was in South Korea, you did not see any terror attacks committed by South Koreans in America. It's BS. BS claim. Why don't you see Jews going back to Germany and attacking and doing terrorist attacks against Germans? Why don't you see families of October 7th victims going inside Gaza and killing the people that did that? Why don't you see that? Because we're not genocidal. We don't have that value in us.